I go to LA in a week for 10 days.
Fun.
Yeah, and last night I submitted to a bunch of stuff on Actors Access that happens to shoot during those dates in there. So I could do a short film or something like that, ideally.
All right, and we're live. Sorry about the delay. Everyone shuts up. What do you mean we're live on our live stream? Things. Yeah. So welcome to the first of what will hopefully be many monthly live streams.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. You guys can go ahead and talk. I'm just trying to figure something out what it looks like.
So, what'd y'all eat for breakfast?
I had a sandwich, and I didn't eat breakfast until like noon.
Good for you.
Yeah,
What kind of sandwich?
it was. I think it was ham.
Ham or ham?
There was some cucumber and tomato on there, and a slice of cheese.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a really exciting morning. It was great.
Like on baguette or?
No, some shitty bread from the corner store.
So it just sort of got you by. Did it warm your heart?
Yep.
Or did
All right. Looks like everything's good on this end. Yeah. So what's everyone up to these days? Aside from eating breakfast nice and late, which I'm kind of envious of.
Was it because you slept in until then, or you were?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay. Nice.
If I sleep in past a certain time these days, I go into a bit of a panic. There's so much to do.
I don't wake up before noon. It's like against the rules.
Well, it's a Sunday too, so.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just really confused. I'm hearing double. I'm hearing the same person's voice, and then 10 seconds later, I'll hear them talk.
Of us that are in the room with you.
No, I hear the same conversations twice with a time delay.
Sounds like you're hearing. Do you have the YouTube thing open?
Yeah.
That's why.
Close it? Okay.
You can mute it. I mute it.
All right.
It's open up on my screen.
I mean, either that or you have to go to a doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, doctor.
I did eat a lot of expired medication.
Or an exorcist, there might be someone in your house. I don't know.
To be fair, expired medication is still good for years.
It's just not as effective.
No.
That's the only thing that changes.
Well,
It
no,
loses, yeah, but it loses it slowly.
Okay, this feels a lot better. I'm coming down.
I have. You're coming down from that high.
Yeah.
That's what you get for taking my expired Tylenol.
That seriously freaks me out. That started Halloween off on an appropriate note. It was very, very eerie.
Concerning. Well, you still hear us who are in the room with you.
Yeah.
Hear
It's
I'm
not
on
Halloween
Sarah's
yet.
Yeah, it's Halloween season. It's close enough.
Oh, for sure.
It's only Halloween for a day.
Don't say that. That's so mean.
Halloween with the lead up.
I love Halloween.
I have to say I've done literally nothing Halloween themed.
It's
Oh.
I don't do Halloween.
I bought a small pumpkin from a fruit market.
You're gonna be able to eat afterwards.
Yeah, I can make a pie.
Yeah, my mom does that too. It's cool.
What's great is roasted pumpkin seeds.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got a pumpkin last week or the week before. Yeah, last week, and I was using it for part of a set. So I was trying to carve some letters into it. I've carved pictures and whatnot into a pumpkin. That works out great. It's a lot of fun. What I haven't done before was carve letters. I learned the hard way that that's really difficult, and that's a really good way to get angry and almost throw the pumpkin across the room.
Yeah.
I need to dispose of it. Right now there is a towel over the pumpkin in the kitchen because I need to get rid of it.
Well, luckily you have a pumpkin you can smash if you get that frustrated.
Yeah.
But it's it's old. It needs to go away.
The pumpkins at my house get smashed like every fucking year. I don't know what I did to piss off like the middle schoolers in my but like for the last like 5 years, and it pisses me off because I carved some pretty good pumpkins.
Yeah. Did you at least get like a picture of them?
No. I don't really take pictures of a lot of stuff, but I like it if other people can see it from the road.
Yeah, sure. Well, do you have any sense of if they smash it like right off the bat, or if it gets to live for the evening? Or?
It makes it till like maybe like 10 o'clock at night on Halloween.
So the little kids got to see it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the children. I get like maybe 5 trick-or-treaters a year. So.
Yeah. On the radio at CBC as I was driving here, this caller who was already a little weird on cross-country checkup was like, okay, yeah, thanks very much. Happy New Year's. And the host was like, whoa, okay.
Close enough.
Yeah, it's a holiday, I guess. Yeah.
Like Christmas, but whatever.
Yeah, no, like the saddest part for me about pumpkin carving is like when it's old, and, like it's going away. I had this pumpkin a couple years back I carved. I named him Methy Skellington. It was supposed to be like terrifying, but the detail in the teeth was really great. But it looked like it looked like it was a meth head, a terrifying meth head. So in order to commemorate its death, because it was so sad when it got like all rotted in, I created like a little image that has like Methy Skellington in his best of days, not rotting away.
His golden hair.
Just like rest in peace. Here's his date. Quote from him. The quote being, "There's no way I'll get addicted."
It like literally never works when you try and mulch your pumpkins at the end of the season.
No.
My mom tried to do that, and we literally just looked like we threw trash in front of our house for like the entirety of the year. Like there was just a rotten pumpkin sitting in the garden.
Like you mixed it in with the earth?
No, she just left it there. I don't know what the plan was, but it didn't look good.
I would think to decompose into the ground.
I think that's what her idea was, but pumpkins, like, I don't know, they're pretty resilient.
You have to bury it. That's why.
Yeah.
You chop it up really small?
Maybe spread it around. I don't know.
You have to bury it, and then it'll decompose. If you don't, it's just gonna be ugly.
Yeah, there's
and grow mold.
Sitting in the garden.
And grow mold.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I feel like chopping it up really small is a good idea.
I feel like digging
Weird
a hole. I
chips.
feel like digging a deep hole in the ground and then tossing the pumpkin in there and
A hole?
Yeah, so I don't have to like chop it up into pieces. I can
put
just
your own
toss it in as is.
Do it.
Put a hole in the hole.
A hole in the ground.
And a pumpkin hole in the
No, it's a pumpkin hole. I put the pumpkin inside and put dirt outside.
But the pumpkin is whole. Like the whole pumpkin.
Oh no! I'm talking about a gutted pumpkin.
Okay.
But are you putting it in the pumpkin hole?
Yeah.
What's a pumpkin hole?
I mean, it can be the hole in the pumpkin or the hole in the ground where the pumpkin goes, which I also call the pumpkin hole.
But
I think we're
goes to the
talking.
pumpkin hole.
I'm just picturing like some really meta shit happening here, where like it just folds in on itself and just vanishes from existence.
Well, for Emma's who looking to nourish the garden, you'd want to spread it under the ground.
Yes, for that, yes, for that purpose. I'm just talking about getting rid of a pumpkin, though. Just bury a hole.
Just entering a pumpkin.
Getting rid of the evidence.
Entering a pumpkin.
Interring. You're just burying it.
Yeah.
Like laying it to rest.
Yes, but I'm
Commemorating.
mulching it.
Yeah.
There's like a whole visual component that people aren't seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So plans for Halloween?
There's a little party going on. A friend's party. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure.
It's what, like a Tuesday?
Yeah, it's on a Tuesday.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have a cool actually plan.
Oh, what is
That
it?
I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I really, really hope it's gonna happen. I mentioned to the woman who's the boss of the company that I work at, the superhero company, where we do superhero birthday parties. And I said, yeah, I'd love to go to Sick Kids Hospital and just be like a superhero there. And she's like, well, actually, we do that every year, and we're waiting to hear from them if they're interested. And they pay for an hour, but they get 2 hours, I guess, because I was willing to do a volunteer. So I'm really, 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 really hoping that works out, that I can be Captain America or Batman. Maybe more Captain America. Batman's so scary.
And also, Captain America's just better.
Ouch.
Yeah, no, I have to agree.
I've
I
never.
mean, Marvel or DC, it's a pretty easy answer.
DC.
Marvel,
I mean,
all the
Marvel.
way.
Of course, it's Marvel.
But Batman is the one awesome thing in DC.
DC is historically racist and sexist. Why would you want to go there?
I gotta say though, like the Wonder Woman film didn't disappoint.
Except the
Yeah, it
last
was
third. The first 2/3 were great, and then after that, you were like, "Oh, Zack Snyder, you touched it."
Yeah.
The last
Yeah.
superhero movie I saw was like Spider-Man 3 in like
I'm so sorry for you.
Spider-Man, yeah. The new one, Homecoming, was
The
awesome.
horrible.
I just saw Homecoming, but yeah, the last one you saw was 3. I feel so bad. No wonder you haven't watched another Spider-Man movie since.
Yeah.
After that train wreck, that should have been so
Any of the
cool.
new ones, I don't know.
Like
Tobey
that.
Maguire is like my last memory of Spider-Man.
I'm so sorry.
Marvel's really on a roll right now. They're really just kicking at humanity. You know, it touches the heart, but it's entertaining as hell. And each superhero has a particularity. It's lovely. It's just killing it.
Homecoming did you can tell it's a Marvel film,
Yeah.
where Sony was finally
exactly.
just like, you know what, we give up. You guys, sure, you guys take the reign on that one. So long as they can keep their licensing and they can keep the money coming in.
Mhm.
Hopefully, the next Spider-Man movie will actually be a Marvel-ish thing again.
Well, and even if Marvel did X-Men, that would be sweet.
They're making a Miles
Yeah.
Morales Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, and a Venom movie
Oh, I'm looking forward to the Venom movie.
with Tom Hardy.
That's not Marvel. That's
Alright.
just Sony.
This I know. I was just
Yeah.
saying
Still
Venom
in
as a
Spider-Man.
general filmmaking community.
Wait, so Sony's taking another shot at Venom?
Yeah, Sony is doing all the side films, and they're not including Marvel, except for they're planning on doing Miles Morales in a few years, and they're going to include Marvel in that, supposedly.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, they're also doing the Sinister Six or something like that still.
That I knew about.
And they're
Oh.
talking about doing a Spider Friends movie, which is like all of the different spider people.
So like
Huh.
Scarlet Spider and stuff?
Not so much Scarlet, more like the different Spider-Womans and probably the Clone
Oh.
Saga.
But they need to build that up and everything, no? Like introduce all those characters, do singular movies.
Okay, it's Sony. Do you really think they're thinking?
Bastards.
Yeah, it's just, oh, look, money. So I guess we'll put together something to keep our licensing. And look, money. Go see the film. Give us your money. And then no one will want to go see it after that. But like, people have gone on opening weekend. They'll have made their money.
Mm-hmm. How long is this Big Toe script?
It's only a few pages, but that's not till the end.
Yes.
Sean's already looking at wrapping it up.
Well, then we gotta pipe it a little too. Like, just so you know, you want to wait till the end of the broadcast because we have a really cool script coming up.
It's a story, less the script, more of a story that we're doing a dramatic read of.
Okay.
But yes, we are. And it will be,
Dramatic.
and yes, it'll be dramatic. It'll be interesting. Way to inspire confidence.
That's interesting.
Well, you think like you don't build up anticipation. It'd be like the Jigsaw movie, where like when I went and saw it, I built up all this anticipation with traps, and then it was a giant fucking letdown.
Was it not good?
It was good. It was just I was expecting more in the way of traps, and we
Yeah.
didn't get that delivery, so that made me disappointed. I did see it on Thursday when it was doing the preview thing.
I didn't expect anything better.
Yeah, I went in with pretty low expectations.
I mean, how many are there? Like after like 6 or something, you're just like,
There's
this
a
can't
lot.
be good.
This is the 8th one.
It is,
Are
and
really?
but it's not the 8th movie that we deserved. The 8th movie that we deserved was the one that should have followed 7, which was with Dr. Gordon. Like,
Well, wasn't he dead
Lawrence.
for like 2 movies?
Guys,
Lawrence.
spoilers. Don't put these online.
Yeah.
That's just
you know, what,
And are we allowed to
it's yeah. You've been listening to me, right?
Yeah.
But
be
yeah,
clear.
it's but yeah, like it's been 7 years. So you know that's other people's problems. If
I
they
never
haven't
saw any
seen-
of them or
Well,
wanted
since
to.
the seventh.
Just to clarify, that's not a spoiler for the new movie. That's just
No, we're
that pertains to all the old Venom.
Yeah,
The first
one spoilers.
yeah, we're not going to spoil the new one. I mean, I'm doing a video thing that has 2 versions where one of it will be spoiled, so I mean that's a thing. But
it's too also possible to wipe out.
It's been like 15 years, so you haven't caught on. I don't know.
I've never seen any of them, and I'm fine with that.
Me too.
Will people get killed with traps?
I've heard.
That's it. That's the whole story.
yeah, I mean, really, it's a revenge story.
I mean, I saw the trailer.
Someone-
Is that not pretty much the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, you can go online and look up all the traps, and that's essentially the movie.
The second one was good. He's all like, "Where's my son?
The second one was my favorite, and then at the end,
I want him back."
Where's my son?
Yeah.
where's my son? As he,
Where's my son?
That's like any Liam Neeson movie.
It was literally like a gritty cop looking for his kind of
Yeah,
crappy
Tony
son.
Was it played by Liam Neeson?
For his son.
Wow.
It's
Liam Neeson in a mask, perhaps.
But-
I'm not sure.
Darkman.
But no, like I love it because like, where's my son? As he kicks the safe, and then like later the safe opens. There's your son.
There he is. He's okay.
It was such an awesome twist.
Actually, yeah, I like that one the best. I thought it was good.
It's my favorite. It's the favorite of a lot of people's, and it's Tobin Bell's favorite. I learned that recently.
Well, I think like the first like 4 Scar movies. I know there's like 52 of them, but I kind of phased out once that weird girl took over or something. I can't remember now.
Well, apparently it's possible to just wipe out useless sequels and take off from wherever you want. For example, James Cameron is going to be making Terminator 3. Forgetting all of the movies
Wasn't
after.
there like a Terminator 5?
Yeah, like what?
That's what I'm saying, they're forgetting all
Why
of
did
them.
you go back to 3?
But that's what
Because they're
X-Men
useless.
Days of Future Past did.
But that's such an arbitrary number. Why not just
Okay, but those
Well,
movies
Because
are so
those are
bad.
that he.
I mean, they're not
did.
But
necessarily
at
calling
least-
it Terminator 3.
At least though with X-Men though, like the whole Days of Futures Past thing, it was a movie that reset the whole universe, which was
But it did it
Fine,
terribly. It was so bad.
yes, it did, but it had a movie that was dedicated to doing that, which. As bad as it was, all right, fine.
What? I thought that was a good movie. I
It
like
made
that
no
one.
sense. There were so many plot holes, and why would Kitty be able to do any of that crap?
I feel like being a mutant though already doesn't make any sense.
But like they explained it from the
So forget X-Men completely.
I mean, if we're looking for realism here.
No, but like I grew up with the comic. I grew up reading them from the time I was a little girl, and they explain why people have certain powers the way they do for years. But then they're just like, just kidding, we're going to give these people powers that have nothing to do with it, and that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but I mean, going back to my point being that, like, they took a point to actually reset things, as opposed to James Cameron, who's, I'm just going to redo it, and we're just going to pretend that the other ones didn't happen. Like, okay, so if you watch the movies, there's nothing there to indicate that we're going back and retconning everything.
To be fair, the newest Terminator did that.
I actually just heard.
Did it?
Yeah,
If you're
yeah,
saying
I
that
know.
he's,
Okay.
if you're saying that he's starting again from 3,
Okay.
so it's a continuation of his 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that because I haven't watched Beyond 3.
He didn't direct. He did not direct
No,
3, 4, or
God,
5.
Okay.
So
Okay,
he's-
so then he's. I see what he's doing. All right, it's stupid, but
The newest Terminator did retcon all of it. Like it's brand new.
okay.
Yeah, and it was.
I should maybe watch the new ones, but I don't want to because.
I mean, it
the
was
new
bad,
ones
but it was fun. Like it knows it's
I
bad.
couldn't watch it.
feels like one of those things where like you need to get a bunch of people together and then just watch it and make fun of it.
Laugh.
I feel like
I-
that should be like the November live stream. We all
It's
just
the
like
best
show up.
kind of movie.
I went to
Terminator
it just to
2.
laugh at it, and I didn't mind.
I
it
like
at
to.
all.
Oh, two's my favorite movie.
Yeah,
It was my
it's
favorite
amazing.
movie for like 10 years. I wrote a 50-page paper on it at university.
What class was that?
What's that?
What class?
Class was,
My God, it was like a 4th-year film studies class,
Oh,
like
okay.
really in-depth studies.
maybe if it was like political science or something.
No, it was like third-world feminism. I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, my third wave feminism class. You know, you either write about Joan Didion or you write about Terminator 2.
Either way.
I actually have a pretty funny story. In grade 12, I was taking this political science
It's gotta be
class,
pretty funny.
and
No funny stories allowed.
I
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I was not prepared to write my final essay. So instead of doing that, I wrote a 1-act play overnight and submitted it to my teacher. And she just handed it back to me, and she's like, that took a lot of nerve, and I got a 90% on it.
As
The risk paid off.
Yes.
I mean, that's cool, but is it funny?
Yeah.
I'm not laughing.
that's yeah.
I'm just impressed.
Yeah, that is impressed.
Yeah.
But I mean, it reminds me of when it was like grade 10. No, it was grade 11 communications. We were supposed to do like this newscast thing. So we're supposed to like go and shoot stories. We'd shoot the whole thing and then cut it all together at the end. I was working at a local TV station at the time, and I found out that at school we had a switcher in the back, that I was the only one who had any idea how to use it. So I decided that we were going to do ours live. That was that was the first time I'd ever done a live anything, and everything went wrong. I'd spent like 3 hours setting it up. We finally made it happen. The person who was supposed to hit record on the VCR didn't hit record.
What?
So we didn't end up having we didn't end up recording what we did, but like it was one of those things where like the risk paid off when we all got like 95. But everyone was just concerned, like, what if we fail? What if it doesn't work and we fail? We're the only one who's doing this.
Oh, I have some insider info about a project that I've been doing that's coming out TV
Oh,
in the next little while. It's called Shadowlands.
I've heard of that name.
There was a movie with Anthony Hopkins back in the 90s.
Not that one,
to do
no.
with that.
No, the
Okay.
project that you've done.
Yeah, okay. And there's this scene where I'm torturing these two guys dressed as Playboy bunnies.
Spoiler
And-
alert.
Well, that's the thing.
Are you allowed to talk about it?
I'm going to talk about stuff about which we lost the footage, so no one will ever see it.
Okay.
So
Oh,
this
nice.
is pretty spicy.
Okay. You heard it here first, folks.
Because basically I pee all over the guys.
Ew.
And it was such
Well,
a
it
big
is
nice
OTV.
setup. You know, we worked hard. And I had a bottle of sunlight, like a sunlight bottle filled with watered down apple juice. And there is an Instagram video of it on my video with me in this little cloak going like back and forth with the sunlight bottle. And the men received this pee all over them. And no one will ever know because we lost the goddamn footage. And that was one thing that we could not reshoot at all.
No, I can
So it's
imagine
not going
that.
to be in the episode, no pee.
But I mean, when you say you're peeing over someone, I would for a second.
It was on their head, all over the place.
Well, and that's the thing. Like when you say out TV, I'm just kind of. It doesn't surprise me and faze me given the content that we had when I was working there.
Oh, you did work there?
I worked there,
Oh,
yeah.
very cool.
I was the broadcast manager, so anything that hit TV went through me.
Oh.
Deliveries and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So I had to deal with people delivering things and not delivering things in the proper format. And consequently, now whenever I have to deliver something to someone, I over deliver. Closed captions and everything.
Give them everything they could possibly want.
Yeah, pretty much. Just the things that I would have wanted working there, like my life is made easier by this.
Did you have any content control, or you looked at the content?
I did QC for it as well.
Right.
So I did QC, I did that. They made choices on what to buy. That was beyond me. But essentially, once the contract was executed and signed, then I took over from there, and it was making sure that we got files delivered properly and on time, and then go through the whole encoding process. Make sure everyone who needs the files gets it where it's supposed to be, and then make sure it goes to air.
But not like, oh, there's way too much penis in this episode?
Oh no, there were times where I would turn around and so it would come to me when I do the QC to actually check content. So if there's a lot of fucks and we're looking to air it during the day, during our meetings, I'd have to bring that up. Okay, there's a lot of swearing. There was this one film that we got in, and I talked to, I think it was CEO or something like that. It was just in a meeting and we were chatting. I'm like, yeah, so are we back to buying porn? Because the movie had so much nudity and so much fucking. And every time I went to go, I did a 20-point QC check on it, and every time I went to one of my points, there was fucking. It's just okay, there's
It's the softcore Latin lover that would play it
Yeah, well, Passion?
Yeah, well, Passions was the best fucking show. It was the most hilarious fucking. It wasn't like it was like a soap opera, but it was worse than that.
Okay.
As for your question about it being passionate, no, not really. It was more like just.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Passions, the soap opera that came on at 2 p.m. on CBS.
I
That was
don't.
about, a man was in love with a gorilla, and there were witches.
What are we
Well,
doing?
I feel like we,
I know the show you're
The
talking
most
about.
insane.
Was it from the States?
Yeah, it was like a soap opera
I've
in
not.
the 2000s, and it would come on like maybe 3 p.m. or something. I would catch it after school, and it was
Guys, that's
So-
like
funny.
my grandparents were addicted to soap operas. It was like a
Yeah.
tradition to come on at like 2 and 3
Yeah.
p.m. And
I
yeah,
remember when I was a kid, I would be sick, and my grandma would take care of me, and we'd watch The Price is Right at 11.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then as soon as Young and the Restless came on, whenever I heard that theme song, I knew it was time for a nap because grandma had to watch her show.
my grandma did something similar.
My
Yeah.
babysitter showed me
Like, I
those
feel like
soap
if we
operas.
still played that, I would pass out right now.
Well,
Yeah,
we're
my-
gonna go and play Young and the Restless.
my grandmother would always
Sex, Lies, and
say,
Videotape?
What's it?
Sex, Lies, and Videotape?
I know of it. Yeah, it sounds familiar.
My babysitter showed it to me when I was like 8.
that seems like a terrible babysitter.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. Yeah, no. That seems really inappropriate.
That's not a good babysitter.
No.
Yeah. She would like lick peanut butter out of her hair and
Your babysitter would?
yeah, she does just one of her activities that she does while she watches
It's
her
like what you
shows.
learn later in the police report, or
Yeah.
holy shit.
So this explains a lot.
Yeah. All the background comes into focus.
Yeah, suddenly
I'm
we
just
know.
gonna go watch a Disney movie to make myself feel better.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
What's that?
You can watch a Disney movie, make yourself feel better.
Which one?
Did I
Does
just
it
lose
matter?
Oh,
Some of them are kind of dark.
Okay, well you can just like skip the first part of Bambi and then you're
I'm
home.
not. Oh, I just gotta keep this one.
Or the first half of like all of them, like Finding Nemo. That was upsetting.
I
Yeah.
don't like that movie. It's too sad.
Up was probably the most fucking tragic thing I've
I
ever seen.
never saw it because I knew it was sad.
That's it's so sad.
that's
The
not
beginning
good.
is just
I've seen it at least like 5 times, and I bawl my eyes out every time. And I always say, I know what's gonna happen, but
Inside Out. I'm the same way. I'll just bawl. That's a
Never
couple of
seen
scenes.
I haven't seen that
The-
one, but it's been recommended to me because I like to cry.
Yes,
So-
and the opening short for it is like, yeah, it really made me cry.
The volcano one.
Yes, the volcano
Yeah.
one. I love that one.
That was very good.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite shorts that they've done.
All right, well I'm just gonna go watch,
So sad.
watch Hercules or something.
Oh, I love Hercules. There's-
I mean that's happy.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
there was
we can find a way to make it sad.
Well, I mean,
Maybe-
he does give up his
I
immortality.
will hang up.
This is true.
Do not ruin this for me.
We're just gonna systematically ruin every Disney movie.
I think they all subscribe to the theory that sadness has to exist for happiness to
Yes,
exist.
Bring
which
it
is the
down,
whole
like,
point of the
yeah.
whole thing. Like
Yeah.
one can't exist without the other. But just because a memory is sad doesn't mean there's also not a bit of happiness.
That was literally a plot point of Inside.
Well, that was just a moment where like
For
the memory
children,
was there.
my God.
Come on, boy. You can do it.
Well, because Bambi wouldn't be such a classic if his mom didn't die, obviously.
Sorry, in which?
Bambi? His mom dies. I mean, that happens then in a ton of
Yeah,
other
shut
Disney.
up.
Yeah.
Isn't Bambi a girl?
No,
No.
maybe it's a boy.
Oh. Well, there goes my childhood.
Learning all kinds of new things tonight.
It's not the same for years, you know.
No,
we're
but
all-
he talked like a weird little boy, like oh.
Should I
He
go?
likes a girl. There's a girl that he likes, right?
I'm gonna.
Well, it could have been a really
He
progressive.
liked a girl named not Daisy. It was like
Guys, girls can like girls.
True enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. In 50s Disney movies, they're pretty messed up.
Yeah, but that's why they often leave things ambiguous.
Bambi's a boy,
Ambiguous.
according to the internet.
Screw
That's
the
right.
internet.
We have a bunch of internets here, so
Because his dad tried to make him all like,
That's good.
you're a tough buck.
Yeah. But his dad was never there. His dad was always just off on a cliffside looking.
Very-
and then his mother died, and it's like, yeah.
This is why I watch Tangled on repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Was it? I'm thinking Fox and the Hound as well. It was a pretty sad movie. Like his best friend turned on him.
Fox and the Hound.
It was the whole nature versus nurture thing.
I just came across a very interesting Bambi factoid.
Okay.
So when I was Googling Bambi and his gender just then, I came across a baby names website, and it says, since 1880, we have no record of any boys being named Bambi, but 3,496 girls have been named Bambi.
All of them.
What? Whoa!
All those girls have a boy's name.
Yeah. Yeah. That's.
I believe
Or
that
the
names
two.
are gender neutral, and they are what we make.
That's true.
Bambi.
It's also named after a cartoon deer.
It's pretty similar to Barbie.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
Barbie.
Thumper's way more boy.
I wonder where they got the name Bambi from. I don't know.
Baby names book, opened up a page and went there. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes that's how I pick out character names.
Is Bambi kind of the like Bambino?
What?
What?
No, like the Italian for little boy.
Oh,
Wow.
that could work.
That
That
makes sense.
Maybe.
There's Bambino and Bambina.
Bambino is boy though, but I
Right.
guess it wouldn't matter.
they would just cut off the. Well, if they had a deer named Bambino, I don't know. It's just, that doesn't strike me as much of a title thing as Bambi does.
It's like my friend has a dog named
Really
Pepito.
sell it as much, yeah. It's a lot of syllables.
Bambino.
Bambino,
Maybe that's what it's called in Latin America. The movie's
Probably.
just poorly translated North America.
Disney presents
My
Bambino.
My childhood best friend's mother was named Bambi.
Really?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Is she still alive?
Yes.
Was it-
Sorry, yeah, so she is. Sorry.
It wasn't a short form for anything? Because like Barbie could be
Nope,
Barbara.
it was actually Bambi, which
Vera.
was awesome.
Cool.
My
Her name was
dog's
just fun
name
to
is
say.
Lily.
I remember my
Sorry?
childhood best friend's mom's name was Odette, like the one from Swan Princess.
Oh.
Cool.
When kid
Why
had that name happens.
Why do you guys know this? Like, I didn't go over to my test.
Marvel.
Hello, my friend's parents. What's your name?
Oh, really?
They were Mr. and Mrs. whatever the last name was.
Well, I went
Why
to
would you do it?
like liberal elementary in Parkdale when I was a little kid. So
Yeah.
I don't know what that
Well, I
means.
was-
by my first name, I don't know.
So you never knew like your friend's parents' first name?
No, not until I was like an adult.
Wow. I feel
I
sorry
grew
for
up
you.
in Alberta where you don't call anyone by their first name. Like,
All right.
even
True.
teachers, you don't
Okay.
call
Yeah,
people by
I
their
can
first
see that
name.
then.
I was very close to my friend's parents. Always loved, but their moms always got along really well. But it would be Mrs. Rafferty.
I've
Not
never in my life called anyone's parents by their last name.
That's so weird.
Really? Shit.
That's weird.
Hello, Marion.
I mean, I grew up with that, like, trying to be enforced, the whole Mr. and Mrs. kind of thing. But then, like, eventually, it's just awkward.
No, it's not. I still do it.
My best friend's mom's name, I still don't know her first name.
Yeah, me too. Never asked.
But it's one of those things that you just don't ask. You just kind of pick it up in passing.
Yeah.
So you're like, what's your name?
Who calls them that? Like, my friends don't call their parents by their first name. That's so weird.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's you were going to say something?
No.
Oh, okay.
But
then,
your
like,
friend
my
talking
friend's
about their own
parents,
parent.
Chill and just like
Was like my
have
mom.
Well, yeah, but, like, you pick it up through, like, strangers coming in, like, other people coming into the house and, like, calling them
Strangers
by
just
name.
bursting into the house, addressing people by their first name. Caroline.
Well, just like
I don't know you.
when I was a kid, my house was the house that like most of the other kids would come to because my mom's really nice. They'd all call her Linda.
That's really weird.
Really?
That's so weird.
I don't recall ever talking to adults as a child.
Oh, my friends would always. My mom, I guess she really likes to chat with us, so she would always just like.
That's weird too. Yeah.
Nah,
Well, it's your experience.
I'm pretty open with like my parents, though. I don't know. It's just different. I don't know.
Actually, my dad is extremely popular among my male friends, and they would call him Kevin, but it still had something weird to it. Like there was a bit of a pretension, or they were almost making fun.
My mom was like always like the one that you could trust. Like my friends would talk about like shit in their lives to my mom and stuff. I don't know. But
Straight
I guess,
up.
yeah, I don't know.
Every raw. Real.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. I don't know.
No, that can be sweet though if you have a friend's parent who's cool, makes cookies and stuff.
Oh, she was.
Is that what you had? Is that what you had?
Bake the cookies yourself. Like, come on.
Hey, I'm sorry. When I was 7, I did try making stuff, but it just didn't turn out very well.
Did no one teach you?
You're 7?
No.
Well,
Or
then
that's
you
what
need
gives
someone
you
to teach
ovens?
you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm good
There was
now.
no internet at that time.
No, there really wasn't. Well, I mean, there was, but it was really, really slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, for 28K modems, and then 56K, which was money, which wasn't much better.
It was either the phone or the internet.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember
Those
that.
are the
Or like,
truths.
but you only had like an hour worth of internet to use a month, so you had to.
Ration.
Or you try and go on AOL, and like your
Yeah.
mom's on the phone.
Never
Like-
used it. Never used AOL.
Yeah.
Tried using CompuServe.
Ugh.
Remember those free CDs that you get in the mail?
Yeah.
I cleaned out. I helped my mom clean up the basement recently, and I found like 50 AOL DVDs. All of like the windows. Like, this is all trash. This has been useless for like 20 something years.
Yeah, well, like formally shut down, didn't they?
Nope,
Recently?
AOL is still
The
around.
States are still-
Is it really? Well,
Yeah, I
AOL
looked-
Messenger is gone.
I have no idea what you all are talking about. When I was a child, I was healthy and just watched TV nonstop.
Yeah, I think we're kind of aging ourselves here by like remember AOL and dial-up internet?
Did
No.
someone say MSN Messenger's gone?
AOL Messenger.
Oh, I see.
MSN
But
Messenger is
MSN
still
is
around, but no one
It's
uses
still a
it.
thing. I haven't used that since like grade 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like even just out of high school. So like
Remember making like really passive aggressive names?
No.
I remember changing my names to like song lyrics.
Same.
Yes,
You
yes,
could also do a thing where you would turn on, I think it was like AOL Music or Google Music or something, and then eventually it came to iTunes, and you could show the music you were listening to.
Yeah.
Windows
So I
Media
always
Player
like
had
found
that.
the edgiest thing I could find. I'm like, yeah, I'm so fucking good
Good.
at that right now.
I'd pick same kind of thing,
Yeah.
something edgy or something that kind of fit the
Really
mood.
edgy, like the emos things I could put.
I never knew a lot about music at that time, so all my friends would post these incredibly emo status up, like, oh god.
Then Google the
So they
lyrics. And you're like, oh shit, yeah, that's hardcore.
Yeah.
I honestly still listen to stuff like that for fun. It's really fun when you get with your friends and you recollect on how embarrassing you were.
Oh, it's like bringing up the whole song lyrics thing. The Patreon tiers are all song names, which
Oh.
kind of
I was saying, oh.
yeah. I was well. It's funny because like a lot of the episode titles are sort of like song names or things that are going on.
Yeah.
So some of their songs. So it's like that seemed to work.
Can I ask if you have a micro USB cable?
A what?
Plug in to the wall micro USB stuff?
Oh, to charge stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was random.
Yeah, sorry.
Actually, that
This is real world stuff.
I leave.
Virtual world doesn't really care about it, but
I mean, I don't know why you guys are all so ashamed of things you used to do. I have no shame. I mean, look at all the song lyrics I used to post about. It's fine by me.
Sure.
no, that's cool.
This is
I'm not embarrassed by that crap.
No, that's.
I don't know. I
Like,
rough
Is it
hairstyle.
the USB thing?
Nah. I mean, it's all part of who you are now. Why be ashamed of it or embarrassed by it?
no, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Past is cool.
That's cool.
Like actually, even sometimes you'll hear like a director. You've done a film for a director, a short film for a student or something like that, and then they have never edited it, and you're like,
Yeah.
please, could you edit that at least so we can see what you did, and you can finish something you started, and they'll be like, yeah, I've evolved past that, and that's like so back then, and like I'm pro now, so
Yep.
that's not cool. Wow, he's got quite a few cables there.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's a lot of
it's-
cables.
That one.
No one can see what we're talking about,
Yeah.
but just picture like a lot of cables.
One of you guys has video on, so I can kind of see something.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a light in the corner.
And somebody like keeps stepping in front of it and moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finger?
It's not me.
Nope. Right, I got the wrong thing. You had it right. Hang on. I have
Maybe just plug into your desktop there.
Nope, I have extension cords.
I hope everyone listening is enjoying this glimpse behind the curtain of how live streams work.
And then suddenly everything just goes off because, I killed it.
Blackout. Oh, I sort of unplugged the USB aspect.
Well, way to go. You just broke everything. Good job.
Perfect. So,
Yeah, I mean, I have piles of, I have like another set of extension, another one over here. Because originally the plan was, initially the plan was to run a light up there, my fluorescent black light thing. And then it was going to go down, so that way I'd have like an overhead set light. But with the hole, there's a hole there, and turns out that my ceiling is really tough to drill into. And then it didn't occur to me right away until after I start working on it. I don't know how thick it is between the next floor and this one. Now it should be enough to, it should be more than 6 inches, but it should be. But I was looking on
for like rats and squirrels to live up there.
Well, I mean, there is another floor, but
In between the floors.
yeah. So I mean, like, there should be enough, but then it just got me nervous. Like, what if I accidentally hit into something and
Into someone's foot.
it's like suddenly just like the floor, out comes the floor, hole just suddenly shows up.
You drill.
But also, it was just like it was getting too intensive just to be able to do it. It's like, yeah, there is no way I'm going to be able to do that and actually mount it properly. So that kind of sucked. So now I just have a hole in my ceiling.
I'm just picturing a Looney Tunes thing when someone's like cutting a hole around.
Yeah, that's what I was picturing too. The same thing.
Drilling all around someone standing there so that it won't fall.
Just get all through. Well, I mean, that was like years ago. I was living in this place, and I have a story to segue into almost anything. So I was living in this place, and we had like a lot of black mold. We didn't know it when we moved in. So our bathroom was not in the best of states, but we didn't know how bad it was. Except one day when I'm like having a shower and I get off and I'm like getting ready to go out, and all of a sudden I hear like this creaking floor, and then the toilet collapses through the floor to the floor below. My best friend, his room was there, so it just landed on his bed, the whole toilet.
Without him there.
Without him there. But like it just
Over the
landed
water.
just upright.
Okay.
Water splashing everywhere. It's just,
Yeah.
The toilet went through the ceiling?
Went through the floor, and
Which
the
is the
ceiling,
ceiling.
which is the ceiling. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it just came down.
Oh my god.
I've only ever seen it in cartoons, and then I saw it happen in real life. It's like, wow.
Well,
That's-
you didn't go through the same hole, luckily.
No.
That's like in Breaking Bad
Yeah. No.
when they put the acid in the or whatever it is.
Yeah, and they're
The
just looking
bathtub.
up, and just suddenly it just collapses.
Yeah.
Right.
I so wished you had filmed that. You would have a viral hit on your
Oh,
hands.
yeah.
I know. But this was before cameras were so accessible. This was
Yeah.
back in like 2007.
Back in
Wow.
2007 when everybody would bring like a literal digital camera.
I mean, I had one. I had a mini DV camera that was
Me too.
good quality, but like it wasn't filming. I didn't think to like. And also, when you hear the noise, you're not necessarily thinking, "Oh, my toilet's gonna fall to the floor. I should film this." You're thinking, "What the fuck is that?" And the thought before you've ever
There's a toilet going through my floor.
seen it, you kind of don't believe it'll happen. and you don't know what it looks like, and then you see it happen. And now, if I hear something similar to that, I will grab my phone camera. But there's nothing I can do about this except film it and get a lot of hits.
It's not Bigfoot yet.
Even at that, it might be difficult unless you're a robot to maintain the stability of mind to start to film something immediately as it starts to go through the floor.
Yeah, I think the thought in my head would just be not again. Yeah, it's.
I'm just feeling so wistful for all the cool, weird things that have happened that aren't like stupid YouTube videos. Just think about how many embarrassing occurrences happen every day, and we just don't ever see them because nobody films them.
Which is great.
That's
great.
The shower here caved in once, like mid-shower. That was fucking cool.
The shower caved in?
Yeah, like drywall.
Oh.
Sudden decided to rain upon.
You?
Yeah.
You guys really need some better construction workers.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, it's.
No rents, man.
Oh, and that was the thing. Like we had construction going on in the place, and that was the living room. So there was already a big hole in the living room floor during this time.
Oh my God.
And then they got angry because like we wouldn't pay the landlord rent, and that was where their money was coming from. But it's like, you guys have been in here for like 6 weeks, and you're being really disruptive, and we're not allowed to we were finally allowed to use like most of our apartment again at this point, and then we weren't. So after that, we had to go to Tim Hortons to go to the bathroom and to use the bath. So like we weren't able to take showers. We had to go downstairs, which one of the neighbors down there didn't like us. Yeah, so my best friend was there, but he wasn't there actively. And then another friend, his girlfriend, was there, and she didn't like us. So she would make a point to be like, no, like even when the hydro person was supposed to come in, yeah, it was. So she gave us a hard time about that, about being able to shower.
So you had to take like a whore's bath in the.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh
Pretty
my
much.
God.
It was not a good time.
Whore's bath?
That's what it's called.
What is that?
Like
You go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
and
Tim Hortons.
You just do a scrub down in the sink.
Yeah.
Oh, I call it a bird bath or a war
Yeah,
shower.
that's
I've
much
only
better.
ever been referred to as a whore's bath.
I've never
Yeah,
heard that
whore's
before.
bath,
That's terrible.
I do that from time to time.
It could also be called a sponge bath.
Yeah, that's better.
You're elderly.
But I like the phrase. I do like the phrase "horse bath."
Me
That's
too. It
so
always
terrible.
I'd like to
think
think
of-
as a pat. Pussy ass tits.
Because I've said that before. I'm like, oh, I don't have time for a shower. I'll just take a whore's bath in the sink and then let's go.
I'd like to think if you're paying for a whore, she'd be clean, a little better clean.
Well, that's why like
Depends
having
on
a
how much
bath.
you're
Very American psycho, by the way.
Michael, you can't afford a whore.
paying. It's beyond you.
I mean, we're all in this sort of industry, so. I mean, but apparently, if you're a news anchor, though, you can afford that and to bring them to the TV station.
Get them like a little.
Now I'm
career
just talking
spot.
about things that I don't know I should be allowed to talk about, but I'm going to anyway. We had at the TV station I worked at back in like when I was in high school. We had one of our news anchors, and he would bring like prostitutes to the station when he thought no one was there.
Just interesting places to get it on.
He also he'd sometimes sleep at the station. He had a place and could afford it. It's just he'd sleep at the station. He was an alcoholic, so he hid alcohol around the station. Frequently, whenever he was allowed to anchor, he'd do it drunk, and then he'd end up saying something and getting himself suspended for like 3 weeks, not allowed to be on air. And then they gave him on air permissions again, and we always looked forward to it.
So he was
Because-
white and male.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
Totally. Well, should we try the big toe or what? Or what do you...
You're just quick to like to end this. We're having a perfectly good conversation, and Sean's just like, I want to go.
Well, on a side note, if you guys want something to do to get from the Halloween spirit into the Christmas spirit, Once Upon a Time at Christmas, a film that I did last year, comes out November for the Blood of Snow Festival, and it's a horror about Christmas. Oh.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Way to drop it. I actually have a short film at the Blood and the Snow Festival as well.
Oh, what do you have?
What was yours called, Sarah? Do you want to finish your plug?
Oh, that was pretty much it. It's Once Upon a Time at Christmas.
Okay, Once Upon a Time at Christmas.
Can you
Mine's
leave
called Itch.
horrifying about Christmas?
Can I what?
Can you say what's like horrifying about the Christmas?
It's about
That's good.
Mr. and Mrs. Claus going on a murderous rampage through a small town.
Oh shit.
It would be. Yeah, mine's called Itch. It's about me wanting to really scratch, having an itch on my hand and using a scouring pad and then a meat tenderizer and then ultimately cutting.
Ew!
Wow,
What?
that's how very saw of you.
Yeah. And I did 2 takes going at my own hand with a meat cleaver and just like hitting right next to my hand, full at speed, screaming.
Oh my god.
And the director had anxiety. So he was like, cut.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, if you're gonna, do it, go all out.
That's my style.
Like, are you sure you don't want me to like hit it? Because you wouldn't have to worry about effects then.
Yeah.
You want to do this
As
practical?
long as you pay for surgery.
That's funny.
Or pay to attach the chainsaw.
Anyone else have anything they'd like to plug?
No.
Oh.
Well, yeah, why don't we do the short story and get in the Halloween spirit?
Okay, give me a moment. I'm gonna plug my stuff too.
Oh, yay!
My stuff's not anything all that special. It's. You done?
Sound effects.
That's the sound of my career blowing up. Yeah, no, I do this thing. Once in a while, I do this thing called Primal Screams. I'm ending the project, but it was essentially like
Primal Screams, right?
Screams,
Screams?
but screams for this.
Okay. Yeah, there's something in
But it's Halloween.
Rain's apartment that has Primal Screams written on it.
Yes,
But
it's
this is
part
Primal
of the.
Streams.
No, it's part of the set for the final episode, which could be considered Primal Screams, but because it's one letter change.
Okay.
It's
For
one letter
Halloween.
change for Halloween. That's what's being called for Halloween.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Primal Screams. Just
Oh,
call
I
it
get
Primal
it.
Screams.
Same
Same
It's
thing.
not generally a scary thing.
No, but the Halloween one kind of is in its own way. It's very Halloweeny. So yeah, it's the final episode of the whole thing. I'm wrapping it up. But yeah, there's a bunch of music stuff. It has a set, sort of. It didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, so I got to rebuild and whatnot. Anyways, and then some extra content that I'm shooting just for it, including an original story and also a review thing.
Sweet.
Cool. When's that come out?
That is Tuesday, 7 p.m.
Ooh.
That is on Twitch.
I don't know
Because
what Twitch is.
Twitch is, well, twitch.tv, it's a streaming thing. People use it for gaming, but before I was on Daily Motion and that place was awful. YouTube hits me with copyright stuff, so I can't go there. So YouTube ended my stream one time when I
Because of
moved
music.
there. Because it's like unlicensed music.
You gotta get a friend that can score you some music.
Yeah, don't you have to license the music to use it?
Depends how you're using it.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
When I was in 8th grade, I did like a music video with my friends to like the Nelly Furtado song. And it got like 20,000 views and then it got removed from YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy. I'm really happy. Because I was Timbaland and it didn't look good.
20,000 hits, whatever you have to do to get that. I'm ready.
In 2007.
Really? We'll remember that.
Or what, Emma?
So,
What?
You were finished where you spoke over you.
What?
Oh.
Alrighty. I just did some music videos with bands and then I just got their licensing so I can just use their music.
I'm licensed with Audio Blocks, which is great, but like this whole thing is mainly just music video stuff and whatnot, and then some extra content stuff. But yeah, while we're here, before we move on to the story, mandatory plug of Scars thing, since it is Scars, our Patreon and Kickstarter are live. So it's up. The video is also up on the YouTube as well, our main video. So there's that. There's a bunch of cool stuff on there if you want to check it out. Aside from that, I'm going to add one more thing. And now I can't remember what I was going to say.
Facebook.com/ScarsThisSeries.
Yes.
If you're listening, go check out that page.
Yes. Also, patreon.com/ScarsTheSeries. It's up on there as well. So, and then Kickstarter is the same thing. I think it's kickstarter.com/ScarsTheSeries. They might have a series of numbers, but either way, if you head over to the YouTube where you are now, And there's a video that's up for the fundraiser, and watch that on there as well. And all the links are there to all of our social media. Oh, right, I remember what I was going to say. So for audience, people who are listening, and also for some of you who don't already know, so for our Kickstarter, I have set a low amount just so that way we actually get the money sent. Because if we don't raise our goal, then we don't get any of it. So we can raise above that. So for the up to the first $1,000, I will be matching whatever we raise on that. So if we raise around 1,000, only the first 1,000 we matched. But so yeah.
1,000 is what we set it at?
No, 500 is what it's set at. But
okay.
I'll match up to 1,000. So again, if we raise 1,000, we got 2,000.
Woo!
Have you heard of Camilla the Vampire?
Camilla the Vampire?
It's a web series. It was like 5-minute episodes to start, and it's been getting bigger and bigger, I guess. And now they're talking about a feature film, and it's going on Netflix and stuff. It's Canadian.
Nice.
And she's a lesbian.
Yeah, I've heard of this. It came out, didn't it?
Why is her being a lesbian important?
Movie?
That's just cool. I mean, it's another aspect of her character.
You were just like, she's a lesbian.
Yeah, that was
Ooh.
I think that's a really strong need going forward, the LGBT community.
And I mean, Sean looked right at me when he said it. Like, oh yeah,
I don't think it's called Camilla the Lesbian Vampire. But
probably not.
That's such a
then
catchy name, though.
I would
It
hope
is.
not.
I mean, when you say that, it kind of makes you think of Stripperella, that old travel show on Spike.
Oh, yeah, the Pamela Anderson
Yeah, that one.
costume. Yeah.
Oh, Stripperella.
Yeah, it aired after
There's
after
Barbarella
the new
with
Ren
Jane
and
Fonda.
Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy?
The new Ren and
like
Stimpy, which
when-
was awful.
When you're a kid and you've got like a TV in your room and you're like, oh, I'm 12 and I'm going to stay up late and watch inappropriate cartoons.
Oh, Bravo.
I grew up with the original Ren and Stimpy, and then
yeah.
when the new one came out, it was awful. It lost its charm because they just really pushed like the whole gay element of it. They really pushed all those jokes up. Whereas before, like we always knew that they were gay, and that's fun. That's great,
Yeah.
but it was subtle.
I met the creator of Ren
John
and Stimpy.
Falusi?
Yeah.
That's him.
I met him at this animation film festival, and all these completely crazy Ren and Stimpy fans were running up to him and doing impressions, shaking his hands. And he was such a mild-mannered guy that he was kind of just like, what have I done? Just like shaking his head. He was so clearly embarrassed by what he wrought. It was
I
hilarious.
preferred Clone High.
That was a great show.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a very
Clone
fun
High.
show.
Undergrads was good.
I'm glad that those guys have had a lot of mainstream success with like the Lego movies and the Jump Street movies. They're really, really funny.
Oh, the 21 Jump Street is fucking hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
And 21 Jump Street.
Thinking like, so there was also that whole Rocco's Modern Life thing coming out, the whole revitalization of it. And
Really?
there's also the Hey Arnold. I don't know. I can't remember if it's a movie or if it's revitalization of the show. I think it's a few episodes of a show.
Because didn't
Hey Arnold.
Arnold end with the Hey Arnold movie?
Hey Arnold and Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah.
Harold's doing a new movie. I heard
Okay,
about that.
so that's a new movie. I think Rocco is also doing. I think they're both specials. I think that's what it is. But yeah, Rocco's Modern Life is getting a new one, and that's fantastic. I'm so excited.
Or something.
And same with the Hey Arnold. I'm excited for that too. I think those are both.
Or
As long as
MTV Oddities? MTV Oddities, like the Max and the Head. It was like old school, cartoons on MTV late at night. I think Much Music might have shown.
I know Nickelodeon had a lot of good late night stuff.
Yeah.
Back in the day when Nickelodeon was good.
Well, and Bravo showed some random stuff that would have some nudity and sex like late at night, but like in Renaissance era,
Oh
or
my
like Korean Tempopu. The movie Tempopu, the credits sequence is like breastfeeding, and then we watched it at a sleepover. We're all like, and they're going,
Oh my god.
Does anyone
No,
remember?
that was like what Latin Lover was.
Okay.
It was like the exact same, but it was like a telenovela on at like midnight, and it was like they would just like beat each other up and then make out on a pool table or something. That was how every single scene went. It was so funny.
What?
And you were like, wow.
Yeah, and then when you were in like 5th grade, you like dared be like, hey, watch this on TV. It's so funny.
Yeah, I'm just thinking back to like the days when Showcase showed porn.
Showcase,
late
that's
night.
what I was talking about.
Yeah, Showcase.
That's Bravo, right?
Showcase is like
It was-
the original like bad channel to watch after dark.
Yeah,
Like cultured
yeah,
us. It probably was
Yeah.
cultured, but we didn't take it as that. We were
it was just like porn.
like a bit
Yeah, no, exactly. You're like, oh, I see a boob. This is hilarious because I'm
Yeah.
10. Yeah.
And then it's not until years later where you learn about Watergate and whatnot. And, yeah.
Yeah.
Crickets. All right. Shall we do this short story?
Yeah.
All right. All of you have taken a look over it when I sent it to you. Okay. So we don't have Alex with us, sadly. So I will read Alex's part. Yeah, I'll read Alex's part, even though some of Alex's stuff comes around my stuff as well. Yeah, I'll read Alex's part. Everyone else, read your part.
Okay.
So you're gonna change your voice for Alex?
I'm going to change my voice for the character.
Everything.
Well, it's a dramatic read, so yeah. The first one might be kind of rough, so I got to get back to that. All right. All right, so for tonight's dramatic reading, in the spirit of Halloween, we'll be doing The Big Toe, from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, the book that ruined a lot of people's childhood. Not so much ruined as like permanently scarred us.
Twisted us into the adults we are.
Yeah, I'm better for it.
Yeah. I would say I'm a lot healthier mentally. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if healthier is the word I would use. It would certainly more imaginative, I think.
Expanded perspectives.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. That works.
I'll be honest, I had never heard of this.
Me neither.
So I'm gonna have to go read this.
Go read the series of books. If both of you want, I can send you the link to the site where like all the stories are, including the original imagery.
That
They
sounds
re-
terrifying.
They recently remade the books,
Huh.
but they changed the images, and it ruins the book. It ruins it because half the fun of it is the images.
Yeah, the pictures are probably more scary than the stories, and the stories are like pretty disturbing. So
Yeah, they are like the one for The Thing or some
Yeah.
other one. Burning Feet was always a story that kind of scared me the most, but that was more story based. The picture itself wasn't all that scary.
Who gave you guys these books?
The Scholastic Book Fair.
yeah, that's
God.
so true. Yeah, the Scholastic Book Fair. I got myself a good, cool eraser that smelled like grapes, and a disturbing book about horrible monsters.
Did you get only one, or did you get all three? Most people got all three.
I'm pretty sure I have the set.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't know. I thought I only had ever gotten the one, but then I looked at the stories, and sure enough, nope, I have. I had all three.
Yeah. I liked those kind of things when I was a kid, though. I don't know.
I still like those kind of things.
You too, yeah.
Partly why Halloween's one of my favorite time of year.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, without further ado, we present to you The Big Toe. One day, a boy was digging in his garden when he saw a big toe sticking out of the ground. He tried to pick it up, but it was stuck. It wouldn't budge, so he pulled as hard as he could, and it came off in his hand. Then he heard something groan and scamper away.
The boy took the big toe into the kitchen and showed it to his mom.
That looks like a nice piece of meat.
She said,
I'll put it in the soup and we'll have it for dinner.
That night at the dinner table, the boy's father scooped the big toe out of the soup and chopped it up into 3 pieces. The father, the mother, and the boy each ate a piece. Then they did the dishes, and when it got dark, they went to bed.
The boy fell asleep almost at once, but in the middle of the night, he was rudely awakened by a strange sound. He listened closely. It sounded like there was a voice coming from outside his window, and it was calling to him.
Where's my big toe? It groaned.
When the boy heard that, he got very scared. But he thought,
doesn't know where I am. It never will find me.
Then he heard the voice once more. Only now, it was closer.
Where's my big toe?
He groaned.
The boy pulled the blanket over his head and closed his eyes.
I'll go to sleep.
Stop.
When I wake up, it'll be gone.
But soon he heard the back door open, and again, he heard the voice.
Where's my big toe?
It groaned.
Then the boy heard footsteps move through the kitchen, into the dining room, into the living room, into the front hall. They slowly climbed the stairs. Closer and closer they came. Soon they were in the upstairs hall. Now they were outside his door.
Where's my toe?
The voice groaned.
The boy watched in horror as his bedroom door opened. Shaking with fear, he threw his bed sheets over his head and listened as the footsteps slowly moved through the dark towards his bed.
Then they stopped. Where's my toe?
The voice groaned.
You've got it.
Finally, he asks,
What you got such big eyes for?
The creature answers.
To look you through and through.
What you got such big claws for?
To scratch up your grave.
What you got such a big mouth for?
To swallow you whole.
What you got such dark teeth for?
To chop your bones. The end.
"Woo!"
Just a wholesome little Halloween tale.
Nightmare fuel for the kittens.
I'm not sure if that was a twist or not. It was just
It really
this
wasn't.
is going to happen, and now it's going to happen. It's happened.
It's like this is just kind of, it just ends.
You're gonna get 8.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you ate the toe, so you know you get. But I don't
So
under-
you will.
What I don't understand is like, why didn't the monster go after the parents? Like, is that what happened next? Like,
I feel like maybe the children are just an easier target.
Mm.
Packs the emotional punch.
Then again, I mean, it was the child who like picked up the toe and like broke it off of the thing.
Well, the story's scaring kids, not parents.
Yeah, the parents are.
Realism.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I guess I can get behind it with the whole, with it like being the kid who broke it off.
Yeah.
All savage like. Like it wasn't just like buried in the ground. No, he had to break it off of the thing.
But wait, so we're saying that it's the toe that's eating him?
No, the toe was from
What?
the creature.
It's
No,
the
the-
creature that was attached to the toe.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's like missing his toe now.
Of course.
And he's kind of pissed, which I don't blame him.
I
I
think too.
The
Toes
boy
are
is- the
super
boy is-
important. They balance you when you walk, especially a big toe.
That's great.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I really hope they washed it before they ate it.
They
well,
probably.
it was put in the bowl. It was put in the pot, so it was boiling. So it would have been. It would have any bacteria would have gone.
uses
Well, it is interesting though, thinking that he was hungry and wanted to eat, that he didn't like dig up whatever the big toe was attached to.
Well, how freaking desperate are you to eat if you're like, oh, cool, a rotten toe. I'll just throw this in the soup.
I don't think
Yeah.
he knew what it was.
Oh, he doesn't know what
Sure.
toe. He
And the
has a
picture
toe.
doesn't look much
But
like
it was.
toe.
Remember, it wasn't necessarily a human toe. It was a creature toe. We
You know,
don't
if we
know what
keep
it
talking
was.
about it, it's just gonna get less scary.
What's the fun of it if you're not going to like analyze it after?
It's supposed to scare you. It's supposed to just freak you out, and that's it. There's no other point.
But I like to analyze things to death.
Which is fine for most things, but for like horror, like no horror stands up to that much analyzing.
Then you need to not watch the Jigsaw review that I'm doing because
I don't watch reviews for horror movies or most horror movies because I like to analyze them too, and they're not. You can't. You can't.
I see how it is. You're not going to watch my thing. I get it. We'll see if I ever come to anything of yours.
Fine. I see how it is.
What's that you're in Scars? Yeah, I'm not watching that. Oh wait, that's my crap.
We just did all those plugs so we can passive aggressively not watch each other's stuff.
Yeah. You're like, well, I know what I'm avoiding. All right. So, see, Sean, we lasted more than a half hour.
Yep. No, we did.
All concerned. Yeah. So I think we're just going to wrap it up here for tonight.
Okay.
How did everyone feel about the live stream?
Awesome.
Fun.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right. Well, we'll do another one in November. And in the meantime, for those who are listening or listening in the future when it's recorded, go check out the Patreon and Kickstarter. There's a ton of good rewards, including access to our Patreon-only Discord server. Should be cool. And some pretty great merch-related things, sort of, on Kickstarter.
Did you put dinner with Benedict Cumberbatch?
I'll add it in later. We got to talk about the details on that one. But yeah, no, I can add rewards as we go. The other thing I should mention too is that rewards will change and tiers might adjust. But if something was part of that tier, it will always stay part of that tier. Things might get added to it, or a new tier might be created. But if it was in the tier, it'll always be in the tier. Same thing with Patreon. If it's in the tier, it'll always be part of it. That won't get taken away. But things might get added, which I never see people complaining about.
Yeah. Cool.
Alrighty, well, that's it for us here tonight. Thank you for everyone who joined us, and we'll be back next month.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye. It's just a quick shout out to all of our backers so far. I'm sorry if I butcher your name. I'm trying my best. Colin Weatherby, Milani Hernandez, Andreas Nelsmuller, and Kai. Thank you to you guys for your support. You're all awesome. And thank you to everyone who continues to follow us throughout this journey, whether it be on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or listening or watching our videos on YouTube. We appreciate your support, and we look forward to doing more of these videos. You guys rock. Bye.